This tutorial is brought to you by FreeSWITCH Solutions. Get the FreeSWITCH advantage.
My name is Fred Butesa and I'll be your tutor for this tutorial. I'll be taking you through these cookbook videos and showing you how you can actually get started with FreeSWITCH. Last time we talked about making internal calls, and this time we're going to look at how to make outbound and incoming calls. Today we are going to be looking at basic things like how to set up a call to go through your provider. For example, you have your internal network and you want them to call mobile phones. You can easily set up a SIP trunk with the provider, or you can set up a PRI or E1 or SS7, whatever you prefer. But in this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to send a call from one FreeSWITCH network to another FreeSWITCH network. In my setup, I have two FreeSWITCH boxes and I've created a SIP trunk between them. So I have a user registered on one on switch A and I have another user registered on switch B. So we are going to be able to call from switch A and then calling all the way out to switch B and then routing our call to that other user who is registered on that end.
Let's first consider a scenario of making outbound calls, and I'm going to be demonstrating this on switch A. Now, you have to tell switch A how to route outbound calls, and in this case, the only time that FreeSWITCH knows that this call is outbound or should be sent outbound, first of all, when you make a call from a registered extension, FreeSWITCH will first of all search the directory to check if that user exists. And if that user doesn't exist, it will actually check the SIP profiles to see if there is a dial plan that can handle that particular number you're trying to call. And if it finds a match, it sends it over to that gateway that is supposed to be handling that call. In our case, I want switch B to be our gateway so that it can handle our outgoing calls that originate from switch A. So you go under external SIP profiles and you define the gateway FS-test2. That is our switch B gateway. So of course I have defined the proxy, that is the domain name. You can also append the port number. That means I'm registering to that gateway on that port. That port can be defined, it can be changed, but in this case everything stays default. And if you've been watching my previous videos, I've told you that by default FreeSWITCH listens on port 5080 for external connectivity. So we are not using a username and password for this registration. And of course, we can also define which kind of codecs to use for calls that are going to that gateway. After adding the gateway, we need to tell FreeSWITCH how to route calls or which kind of calls are going to go to that gateway. Remember that we have called our gateway name FS-test2. Now we have to go under the dial plan. Remember, since the call is originating from within switch A, our dial plan will be defined under the default dial plan or the internal dial plan. So you create a file under that path, under default dial plan, and then you tell FreeSWITCH that if anybody calls a number 18881, I want you to bridge that call over the gateway FS-test2, in this case, which is our switch B. So we are telling FreeSWITCH, telling switch A that if anybody in your network calls 18881, send it over to switch B. And after you've done that, that means you're going to be able to make outbound calls. But before I show you that, I'm also going to show you how you would handle incoming calls from your gateway. Now, in case a call originates from the side of switch B and then it comes into switch A, we need to tell switch A how to handle that call and where it should go. Now, I've told you that the DID for our switch is 19991. So if anybody from the outside network calls 19991, we are trying to tell switch A that you receive that call and forward it to an extension in your network. In this case, we are forwarding the call to extension 1000. So I want you to note something. I'm creating this kind of dial plan in the public context. So I'm telling FreeSWITCH that, you know what? If a call comes in, since it's coming in from the external network, we get that dial plan and put it in the public section of the dial plan. I will illustrate for you that I've created all the configurations, and I will show you the configurations on switch A. Just to check, I've configured the DID dial plan to handle incoming calls. I've also configured the outbound dial plan in default context to handle the outbound calls from switch A. I've also created the SIP profile for the gateway or for switch B in switch A. That is also there for you to see. And then after this, I'll just be showing you, I'll just run a demo call for you to show you how this actually works. The command Sophia status actually shows you the gateways that are configured on the system and those that are active for use. You should also note the name of the gateway. In this case, I see FS-test1. That is our gateway on switch B. And if I check Sophia status on switch A, you can see that the name is FS-test2, which is switch B for our scenario. So once you have those listed, it means your boxes can now communicate with each other and you can actually make test calls. I'll pull up my Zoipa soft phones. I have two of them installed. That is the licensed version and the unlicensed one. And I can try to make a call from Zoipa, one end that is registered on switch A, and it is going to call 18881, which should ring on the other party, 1000, which is registered on switch B. And once you have that call ringing, you have managed to successfully configure inbound and outbound calls. Thank you very much.
Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. If you want to advance your knowledge in FreeSWITCH, check out our website for the best training offers, or you can meet us at the ClueCon conference in Illinois, Chicago.